Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I just want to start by saying sorry if you can hear the cat licking itself in the background of this video. Hey mister, do you mind? This is going to be another video in my uni series that I am doing here on my channel. I just want to thank you guys so much for all of your love and support on all of my uni content so far. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy that content, because it is obviously the easiest content for me to film right now. I had some comments asking if I could film a Q&A, so this video is because of you, so thank you for the idea. I asked you guys over on my Instagram stories for some questions and you guys sent in some good ones, so I thought I would just sit here and answer those questions that you guys have, and hopefully it'll give you a little bit more insight into kind of like my uni experience so far. If you are new to my channel and this is the first video that you're watching from me, I am a first year law student at a university in Auckland. As I'm filming this video, it is currently semester break, so I've done one semester, so I'm by no means an expert on uni or anything like that. I've just been enjoying my experience so far and have loved bringing you guys along. Yeah, let's jump straight into this video. So the first question that I thought was a good one to start off with is, why law? I thought about studying law when I was a little bit younger. Originally I wanted to be a doctor, and then I found out that I hate the sight of blood and needles, so that wasn't gonna work. And then yeah, when I was kind of like intermediate age, I thought about doing law, but I thought I wasn't smart enough to do it. I also, as I got older, didn't want to defend somebody who I knew was wrong, like in the wrong. Kind of just wrote it off, and then once hairdressing didn't work out, it started to like come back into my mind. So I left hairdressing, wow, like 5 years ago, and since then I've just kind of been thinking about it more and more. Definitely through the big lockdown in 2020, I started to think about law a little bit more. I had a moment last year where at work, when it was quite quiet, I was kind of thinking through if I had made the right decision, like going into management, or if I should have gone to uni instead. But I'm still really thankful that I chose to stay in management. When I got made redundant at the end of the year, I thought, great, this is the time when I'm gonna go and study law. Basically, why I chose law is because I really want to be able to help people from a legal perspective, and I also just find the whole idea of law very, very interesting. As a Christian as well, it's nice for me to be a part of the justice system, because I know that my Heavenly Father is a God of justice, and so actually look at what the laws are, what you can and can't do, and I just thought it would be really, really interesting. Also like that there is different areas that I can go into with law. I don't just have to stick to one, because I really, really enjoy like change and growth in my work life, so I really like that there is that flexibility to go into so many different areas. I apologize if I'm in a slightly different position. My battery just died, so I've just changed it over to my other one. Do you enjoy it so far? Yes, I am really, really enjoying uni. I really like that the uni days are a lot shorter than the work days, because I feel like I just have so much more time. Really, really enjoying the law course. It's all really, really interesting, and even my electives with like deaf studies, even early childhood, that was really interesting to learn about as well. I got a couple of questions about like the difficulty of uni and law in particular. So I got one question saying, is it harder or easier than expected? And then a couple of other questions saying, is uni harder than you expected? I feel like uni is kind of easier than what I expected. In saying that, I think I just had a too high expectation of what law was actually going to be like. Obviously I've only got a few grades back so far, which have all been really good, but I feel like with law in particular, a lot of it is just common sense and just thinking deeply about things. I definitely think like some of my electives are a little bit more difficult than what I had anticipated. Again, I am only a first year, so I feel like first year, especially in law, a lot of it is like very, very basic level stuff. But I feel like as long as you show up to the lectures and you show up to your workshops and you actually ask any questions that you have, you should be fine. Because I found in particular with the exams that a lot of it was stuff that we'd already like gone over in class, and I feel like if you just think about the problem logically and put the law through it, it doesn't actually seem that hard. And I think with law, as long as you argue your point either way. Generally, as long as your argument is strong, it doesn't really matter what way that you swing, because there's not necessarily like one set answer in law, which is really, really nice. Following on from that question, I also got another question saying, is uni different from what you imagined? Yes, I feel like it is. I feel like it's different in terms of just how it all runs. Like, obviously I knew that you had lectures and workshops and things like that, but I didn't expect the days to be so short. Again, I kind of knew that like in first year of law you did like a lot of like New Zealand history, but I also thought that that was the only thing that you learn, and it's not. I thought this question was quite fun. It says, what's one thing you love about uni and one thing you hate? So one thing, I mean there's multiple things that I really enjoy about uni, but I think the biggest thing that I really enjoy is having shorter days. So like being able to go to class and come home and it's still daylight outside, where I can actually like come home and actually have dinner prepared for my husband when he gets home from work. I really, really enjoy that, because I feel like when I was working I would come home extremely exhausted, and the last thing I wanted to do was like cook and clean or edit or things like that. But I feel like I can come home, relax for a little bit, and I've still got like plenty of time in my day, which is really nice. One thing I don't like about uni, I mean I wouldn't say hate, because hate is a very strong word. I dislike the fact that the teachers can't give you more feedback on your work, because I feel like that's just not how the real world works. In the real world, you are never ever going to be left with your own devices where you can't ask for feedback or help on something, whereas in uni, like I know with my essays in particular, I really wanted feedback, and you send it to them and ask for feedback and they say that they can't give you feedback, they can only mark it. And I think that is so stupid, because I just feel like it doesn't set you up well at all for life outside of uni. What are you wanting to do with your degree when you finish? So obviously I'm doing a law degree, so my aim is to be a registered lawyer with the New Zealand Law Society. As of right now I'm interested in criminal law, but like the prosecution side of it, because I don't want to defend someone who I know is guilty, because as a Christian I feel like I can't do that. I'm also interested in family law, just obviously not being a divorce lawyer, because again I have Christian morals and standards around the idea of divorce. Family, like kids in particular, like that would be really interesting. Obviously I love children, so that would also be an area where I feel like I could really help. The other area of law that I didn't realize I wanted to go into until I started being at uni was going into disability law. So through my deaf studies I have realized that there is actually a lot of gaps in the law for people who are deaf, and that is very, very close to my heart, because my youngest sister Anya is fully deaf. I think that there is a lot of change that could be done in disability law to help deaf people or blind people or people with physical impairments, that the law could do to actually help them. So I'm also thinking through that area, but I don't know for certain what area I want to go down, but those are kind of like the three areas that so far have stood out to me the most. I just want to be able to help people and help like problem solve people who feel like they're stuck in a place where they really just can't get out. What is the most common age in your area of study? So law, honestly, I feel like has a very, very wide range of ages. So there are people who are fresh out of high school, like 18-year-olds. There are a few people, not many, like myself, who are in my now my mid-20s. I'm 26, so my mid-20s. And then there are also people in my class who are like in their 40s. So it's quite a nice range of different types of people, which for me is really, really refreshing. I don't feel too old in my class, I don't feel too young in my class. In my deaf studies elective, it was mostly people in their 20s, which I found very interesting. And in my early childhood there were again a mix of people with all different ages. So it's actually really, really nice, because there are definitely people who have no life experience, and then people who have heaps of life experience, and then people like me who are kind of just in the middle. So yeah, it's really, really nice. If I drive to uni, so mostly no. I mostly public transport. I mostly just take the bus to uni, but if I have a class or a workshop where it's like an hour, then I will drive, because otherwise I spend longer on public transport than I do like in my class. So it's quite a nice break when I get to drive. My timetable was going to change for semester 2, but for semester 1 my husband was dropping me off on Friday mornings at uni because he didn't start work until later, so that was really nice. What's the student bar like? Is it empty or packed? Is it fun? I never went, lol. I haven't actually been either. I feel like from when I've walked past the student bar it's always been quite busy, but again, I've never been, so I can't vouch for what it's like. I got a couple questions surrounding like lunch at uni. So I got a question asking if I have to buy lunch every day at uni, and then another question, what snacks do I take to uni? So I don't buy lunch at uni. I think it can get very expensive with buying lunch at uni. Obviously at uni, like, they have cafes and stuff that are like catered to students, so it's a little bit cheaper, but for the most part I try and take things from home. We do a grocery shop every week, so I've got food at home. Most of the time, honestly, I will either just take leftovers from dinner, or I will just make a sandwich, take some fruit and some biscuits, and always make sure I bring my water bottle. So that is like a typical uni lunch for me. A question came in saying, how do you budget weekly with uni, rent, food, etc.? And then I also got another question, cost of uni and things like that. So with uni here in New Zealand, you can apply for a student loan, or you can pay your uni upfront. Most people just get a student loan. It's what I did, where you basically just start paying it back as soon as you're working. I am already paying it back because I still work, so that's quite good. You don't pay for the whole degree all at once, you pay year by year. So I think for first year of law at the uni that I'm at, it's about 8 grand. So in terms of budgeting for uni, I don't really budget for uni because it's on a student loan, and my whole year has already been paid like by StudyLink, which is like the student provider that like give you financial assistance through your study. And then how do we budget for, I think it was, what was it, rent and groceries? I think. I am very blessed in that my husband still works full-time. I do also get money each week from StudyLink, which is kind of like a student allowance. So here in New Zealand, it will either go on what your parents earn or what your partner earns if you're living with your partner, and the government will give you a certain amount of money each week that you basically just don't have to pay back. It's just basically like money that the government gives you to live while you're studying. That's what I get. And then my husband works full-time, so when we both have our money come in, we have joint bank accounts, so we can both see what's coming in, how much is coming in, and then we just delegate that, honestly. Our rent is the first bill that we cater for. Like, we have a bills account, so we put it into our bills account. My husband also gets paid fortnightly, so we kind of calculate our bills fortnightly. So rent and groceries both go into our bills account, and then the other money that we've got left, we'll like disperse it for like other bills and like phone bills and petrol and like bus cards and whatever else, you know, savings, all that good stuff. Got a couple of questions to do with like UniLife Balance. So I got one question asking, how do you balance studying and working and marriage and YouTube all at the same time? Another question asking, how do you manage working full-time and uni? And then another question about how will you manage having a child and studying. So I will answer the how you manage working full-time in uni. I don't work full-time. I could not manage working full-time and doing uni full-time. I just don't think I personally have enough hours with everything else that I do to work full-time. My husband works full-time, so he is like the breadwinner in our family, and I just work as casual. So as a casual, it means I can pick and choose when I work. But I will pick up shifts if I don't have any assignments or exams on. Obviously in my breaks I will pick up more shifts. So like next week, for example, I'm working Monday through to Friday, and with my job that I do, there are like multiple locations around Auckland, so I can kind of like go to whoever needs me. And a lot of people are like sick, or a lot of people that I work with also do uni, so there's always like shifts and stuff coming up. So I tend to get like a shift once a week, although yeah, when it's exam time and I've got assignments due, I don't pick up any shifts. So my work is very flexible, which for me works perfectly. How do you balance studying and working, marriage and YouTube all at the same time? So obviously I kind of addressed the working. I do casual, which for me works really well, and I will typically do that if I don't have anything that I need to do like as an urgent right away. Obviously if I've got heaps and heaps of reading for law, which does happen, I will try and get that done like after uni or on different days, and I will kind of just work when I've got some spare time. How do I manage uni? Uni is like not my first priority, because my husband and my faith are my first priority, but uni is kind of like my next one down on the list. So I will always write a to-do list at the start of the week of everything that I have for uni that I need to do, and then I will just go through that list and do the things that are like top priority. So if I need to do some like readings by a certain date, I will do those first. Obviously, if I've got assignments and stuff due, I will generally start my assignment if it's due the week before it's due. Sometimes with law, I'll do it 2 weeks in advance. That way I can just like do little bits and pieces at a time, chip away at everything. I don't ever leave readings till the last minute usually either. Like I'll try and do my readings well ahead of time. My days are very, very full. I am also not a morning person, I'm a night owl, so I tend to stay up quite late doing uni. I think the latest I've done uni till is till like 11:15 at night. Through semester 1, I was basically doing uni from like Monday through to Saturday, and then Sunday was like my rest day. And I think it's really, really important having a rest day at least 1 day a week. For me that was Sunday, because I'm still trying to keep my Sabbaths where I just rest and really like recuperate, and for me that was fantastic. It also helped when I wasn't serving on preschool, because when I'm serving on preschool, which I am this month, I have like half Sunday to relax. Also have to manage being a wife in my marriage as well, and I've got a house to manage and keep clean. I also, like I said, I serve at church as well. We also do Bible study twice a week, so Phil and I have a group with church that we go to, and then we also host a Bible study at our house 1 night a week for one of our non-Christian friends. So I also have that, and then trying to manage like doing YouTube with getting videos up, and obviously editing takes time, filming takes time, trying to see my friends, trying to rest and spend time for me. It's really, really not easy. I will kind of just do the best that I can. I will do housework for like half a day, so I'll do half a day usually on a Monday, where like the morning of Monday I will try and do as much housework as I can. So I will do the washing, I will vacuum, I will change the sheets, like all of that kind of stuff, what needs to be done. So Monday was typically like my housework day, and then yeah, like Tuesday through to Saturday was like uni, and then sometimes on a Saturday arvo, or like on a weekday I would, like in the afternoon I would edit. If I need to film, obviously that gets a little bit tricky, so I will typically like film, I think I filmed on like a morning of a Saturday, and then we'll do uni in the afternoon. Again, it's very, very long days. I will also utilize my breaks, so like my mid-semester break I filmed heaps. I also had 1 day a week where I wasn't at uni, so I would kind of use that day as like a flexible day. So that was like my Wednesdays, where I would either do uni, if I had like a lot that I needed to do, like a lot of readings, assignments, all of that stuff, I will use Wednesday as a big day to try and like smash it all out. If I didn't have anything on and work needed me, I would typically pick up a shift on Wednesday. Or if there was not a lot of uni that I had to do and there was no work for me at work, then I would use that as a filming day or an editing day. So it was just very like flexible. But the second half of Monday up until when we would have our friend come over for Bible study, I would be doing uni. Tuesday was like a full uni day. Thursday was a full uni day, apart from when I'd leave to do Bible study in the evening. Friday was a full uni day. Saturday was like a half to full uni day depending on what was happening. Also Saturdays I would sometimes see friends, or Sunday afternoons after church we would go to lunch with friends quite a bit, so that was also like time to socialize. And then like throughout the week I would just try and spend little pockets of time with my husband as I could. Obviously my husband works full-time, he works 40 hours and he works Tuesday through to Saturday, so we would have Sunday as a day together, which is really nice. Again, if we would go see friends we would go together, or we would sometimes do like housework and stuff together on Mondays. We were really bad at prioritizing date nights, so we're trying to do better at that this coming semester. And obviously like I would make sure that I was prioritizing my faith by doing like even just half an hour, like 15 minutes to half an hour of quiet time most mornings. That definitely helped and set me up right for the day. And then with YouTube as well, like I was uploading once a week at the start of the semester, and then as I started to get more busy with like assignments and things like that, I would upload like once every 2 weeks. My idea would be to do like a minimum of 1 video per week. I do ideally want to get out 2, but doing a law degree and trying to do YouTube as well, it's really hard to find the time to edit enough to do the 2 videos. So most of the time through semester I was just trying to do 1 video a week or 1 video every 2 weeks. I tried not to let it get past the 2 weeks without having a video. I pre-film like a bunch of videos. So for today, for example, this is my 2nd video that I've filmed today. I am going to try and film 5. Obviously some videos I do film in just with like 1 video. So for example, like my closet declutters, those take up an entire day, so I don't have time to film anything else. So that is just 1 video that takes 1 day and things like that. But if it's sit down videos, I will always pre-film a bunch as well. That way I can just do 1 big day where I film a whole heap of them, and then I can just slowly but surely edit them over time. So honestly, it's pretty busy a lot of the time, not gonna lie. I feel like my sleep wasn't great. Most of the time I was getting to sleep at like midnight or like 12:30 and then waking up early, and you can only do that for so long before your body crashes. So it's also hard to like try and find time to like rest and sleep. I hope that that answers your question. How will you manage having a child and studying? Obviously I can't say for certain because I don't have a child yet. I'm not pregnant yet. But Phil and I's plan is for me to basically study full-time until I have to give birth or until I physically can't anymore. And then my plan was always to drop to part-time. Obviously if I have to bring my kid to uni, I have to bring my kid to uni, like it's what I have to do. But I am very blessed in that I do have a husband who is able to help me. So if that means that he needs to take the kids for a little bit when he gets home so that I can study, that's really cool. I can get him to take them out and do something with them so that I have a quiet space to study or prepare for something. We do also have a church family up here in Auckland who I know are more than willing to help. So I've got a lot of friends as well who, like inside of church and outside of church, who are keen to just like help us out with it. And I'll just manage the best that I can, honestly. I know I'm not going to be perfect at it, but I've got a good support system and I'm really lucky that I've got that. Obviously I've got my family who could come up here for a week or 2 and help me out as well if it works with them. So I've just got a lot of really supportive people around me that I can lean on through this time. And I guess most importantly as well, I do have my Heavenly Father who will help me through it and won't leave me alone. I also will lean on him to get strength. Honestly not worried about it. Like I know that it will work out and that the Lord will provide, and yeah, my husband will help me out and we'll do it together, and yeah, we'll be a team and it'll be really nice. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, my plan is to always drop to part-time if I get pregnant. But also like I don't know how long it's going to take me to get pregnant, and it takes 9 months for a baby to grow, and I think the uni year is like 8 months. So depending when it happens will obviously depend on how many years I can do full-time uni, but I'm just going to do full-time until I can't anymore with having a baby. And then I think I'll do one more question for this video because I feel like I have been talking for so long. But do you and Phil spend less time with each other now that you're at uni? I don't know if we spend less time with each other because obviously we live together and we try to prioritize like spending even just like an evening talking. Phil and I are both very busy, but we do try to prioritize our marriage. Obviously, like I said, we've been really bad at date nights, so we're trying to do that more. But I was chatting to Phil about this, and like I don't think we see each other any less than what we were before. Like we still feel really close, and we still talk every day. We still have our marriage meetings once a week where we just sit down and talk about the week. Anytime, bless him, anytime I have an assignment that's due, I will always sit and I will read it to him probably about 3 times, like make changes, and I'll be like, does this make sense, or like, do you understand what I'm trying to say like in this part, or do I need to make it clearer? Like come exam time and stuff, we'll talk about my degree and like what I've been learning and things like that, and that's really helpful. So yeah, I don't feel distant from him at all, and it's just nice that he is kind of like keen to just let me like sit there and tell him the same assignment 3 times to make sure that it's right. So yeah, those are all of the questions that I'm going to answer for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Obviously, if you guys have questions or if your question didn't get answered, I can do another one of these if you guys are keen. But if you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please make sure to turn on the notifications and check out my social media. It's always linked down below in the description box. If you guys do want to watch more uni content, I have got a whole playlist with like some vlogs and things in there, so I will leave that down below for you guys as well. Hopefully this has helped you out if you are thinking of studying law, if you're in your last year of school, or if you're just interested to see what it looks like as a law student at uni, then hopefully this has been helpful. If you are thinking about studying, I would highly encourage you to. I think that's all that I have for this video, and I shall see you guys in my next one. Bye!